Today, we're going to dive deep into the work of a really fascinating thinker, the existential psychologist Rollo May. Now, here's a guy who looked at all the stress and anxiety of the modern world and saw something totally different. Not a sickness we needed to cure, but a challenge. A challenge that we all have to face. And it all starts with a feeling I bet is pretty familiar to a lot of you. You know that feeling, right? Like you're just adrift. Maybe you feel like you're watching your own life from the outside instead of actually being in it. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. In fact, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century said that this exact feeling is the defining illness of our time. And that psychologist was Rollo May. He looked at the widespread apathy, the sense of emptiness that so many people feel, and he said, hey, this isn't just a personal problem you're having. He saw it as a symptom of a much, much bigger condition, a kind of sickness that had taken hold of the modern world. So before we can get to May's solution, we have to really understand the problem he was trying to solve. What exactly is this sickness that he saw all around us? He gave it a name, alienation. And listen, this is way more than just feeling lonely on a Friday night. May described it as a deep, threefold split in our lives. It's a separation from the natural world around us, a separation from the people we're supposed to connect with, and maybe the most painful one, a separation from our own true selves. To make this clear, May broke down our existence into three distinct worlds. First, you have the Umwelt. That's the world around you, your connection to nature, the environment, even your own body. Then there's the Mitwelt. That's the with world, the world of other people, your relationships. And finally, the Eigenwelt, which is your own world, your inner life, your relationship with yourself. Alienation, according to May, is what happens when those three connections start to fray and break apart. So you might be wondering, how did May come up with such a heavy diagnosis? Well, this wasn't just some theory he came up with in a comfortable office. His most powerful ideas were actually born from a deeply personal and life-threatening crisis. You see, after spending his youth as a traveling artist in Europe, May's life was turned completely upside down. He got tuberculosis and had to spend years locked away in a sanatorium. It was there, lying in bed, facing the very real possibility that he might not make it, that he was forced to grapple with the biggest questions of all. He gave a name to what he was facing, non-being. It's that cold gut punch of a realization that our existence is incredibly fragile. It's the awareness of the nothingness that's always just on the other side of life. And for May, a huge paradox became crystal clear. To truly appreciate what it means to be, you first have to stare right into the face of not being. And this is where it all connects. May argued that this dread of non-being, this fundamental fear of nothingness, isn't just some random phobia. No, he said it is the source, the root cause of all our anxiety. It's like the engine humming quietly beneath all the other fears we have. But, and this is a huge but, May didn't think all anxiety was bad. Far from it. He made this brilliant distinction between two types. On one side, you have neurotic anxiety. That's the destructive, paralyzing kind that happens when we try to run away from that fear of non-being. But on the other side, you have normal anxiety. And that's the feeling that comes with freedom, with growth, with change. It's a sign that you're actually alive and engaging with life. Okay, so that idea brings us to the absolute heart of Rollo May's philosophy. It's this beautiful, powerful tension that every single one of us lives with, the constant dance between our freedom to choose and the destiny we've been handed. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It's not freedom versus destiny. It's that they need each other. They give each other meaning. Think about it. Without limits, without our destiny, our freedom would just be chaos. And without freedom, our limits would just be a prison. May also helped us understand freedom in a much deeper way. He said there are really two kinds. There's existential freedom, which is the freedom of doing, our ability to act, to make choices out in the world. But then there's essential freedom, which is the freedom of being. And this one might be even more important. It's your inner power to choose your attitude, your response, no matter what's happening on the outside. So what about destiny? It's really important to get this right. For May, destiny is not fate. It's not that your life is already written for you. Not at all. Destiny is simply the givens of your life. It's the fact that you're mortal. It's your natural talents, your built-in limitations, the family and country you were born into. It's the raw clay that your freedom gets to shape. Okay, so if we're living in this constant push and pull between freedom and destiny, with this background hum of anxiety, what are we supposed to do? Well, May's answer is profound. It requires what he famously called the courage to create. When May thought about the purpose of therapy, it wasn't about making people feel happy or comfortable. It was about making them more fully human. The process looked like this. First, help people truly see and feel their own freedom. Second, help them deepen their conscious experience of just being alive. And third, empower them to take full, radical responsibility for the life they are building with their choices. So here it is, the main takeaway. The whole point isn't to get rid of anxiety. That's impossible. And honestly, it would mean you've stopped growing. The real goal, the courageous goal, is to face that normal anxiety, the one that comes with every meaningful choice, and to learn how to use its energy to build a life of your own meaning. And that brings us to the final powerful question that Rollo May leaves for every one of us. Knowing the givens of your life, working within the limits of your destiny, who will you choose to be? How will you use your freedom? That, right there, is the courageous work of a lifetime.